I'll call the Guthrie Planning Commission meeting to order for October 9th, 2014. We have a roll call, please, Ms. Pinetto.
Yes, sir. Chairman Powell.
Here.
Commissioner Wood.
Here.
Commissioner Chapel.
Here.
And Commissioner Ogden is excused. And we do have an open position now. Commissioner Smith has relocated to another town.
Seriously? Where'd they move?
He moved to Edmonton.
I didn't know that.
Yes, he did.
Thank you.
You are very welcome.
Item 2 is comments from the public. Hearing none, I'll move to item 3, approval of the minutes for August 21st, 2014, and from September 11th, 2014.
I would make a motion, we accept both sets of minutes.
And we need to do them one at a time.
Or do we need to do them one? Wouldn't we just do them as a
Probably one at a time, because I
I think
can't
so.
vote on the 21st one, because I wasn't here.
Then we're going to do the one at a time.
Yep.
You know, we went through this, we'll get these approved here in the next 6 months.
Oh, let's do that. Sounds very good.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion by Commissioner Wood and
Do I hear a second?
What was, I'm sorry, I was reading.
Approval of
just
the
a
minutes.
second.
Yes, a second.
Okay. Now, you have to have read the minutes.
You didn't make me do that. I didn't read them.
Could we have a vote, please?
I can read them very quickly.
Okay.
I'm a quick reader. And I was not at the last meeting.
Sure.
No, this is the one for August 15th, 2014, Mr. Chapel. You were present at that one, I
Oh, I
was.
was, you weren't. Okay.
Okay.
I can
So
second
with that, let's go ahead.
And have a vote.
You bet. Chairman Powell.
Abstain.
Thank you. Commissioner Chapel.
Yes.
Thank you. Commissioner Wood.
Yes.
We have approval. Now, if we can move on to the minutes of September 11th.
I will also make a motion to approve the minutes of September 11th.
Motion's been made, do I hear a second?
Not until I read it.
Commissioner.
Second.
Can he second that? Yes, I'm sure you
If
can.
I wasn't here?
You weren't here, but.
No.
I was, but I'm ex officio.
You're ex
That's
officio.
right.
And.
You get to observe.
Can the
and
chairman
comment.
second?
No, so we cannot, actually, we have to table the
The minutes
minutes for
Okay.
September 11th.
for the next meeting. Item 4 is discussion and possible recommendation to the City Council concerning the draft of amendment to ordinance number 2422 to include a commercial entrepreneurial zone.
If I can give you a bit of a background, we've massaged this quite a few times, and I think Mr. Mosley from our Economic Development Department has come up with a good final product on this. Purpose tonight is for you to review this and make a recommendation, either yes or no, to create a totally new category within the commercial land use program. Right now we have C1, C2, C3, and commercial business district. C1 is a neighborhood, C2 is the general commercial, C3 is a highway commercial, and then the CBD is what we have in the central business district. And each one is a different flavor, if you will, of commercial zoning. What Cody is proposing is that we create a fourth type of commercial land use, which would be called commercial entrepreneurial. It's a totally different kind of commercial zone that would merge a residential with a commercial. Now that's not totally unusual because we do that in the commercial business district. What's different with this one is that we're bringing entrepreneurs together. That doesn't mean that they would all be retail. A good majority of them more than likely may, but this could also be a type of manufacturing or such. Right now, the greater trend in economic development is attracting and retaining the whole entrepreneurial segment of development. And what we want to do is make parts of Guthrie an attractive market where these people would want to bring their starting business, as well as have an area where they would want to live, bring their family and such. We're seeing a lot of situations, and I'm starting to get my professor hat on here, but we're seeing a lot of situations where people, especially the millennials and such, want to live in an area where not only they have their home, but an area where they congregate together, where they can share ideas, share issues that they're working on, and basically come up with a collaboration. So that's a good chunk of what you're reviewing. The item before you is that ordinance that goes into the description of a CE. This does not designate where a CE would be located. This just creates that function. Wherever that CE would then be placed will come before you again and say, okay, this geographic boundary, this section of land, we want to put as a commercial entrepreneurial, and staff would then come to you and say, we recommend this. You would look at the map and the demographics of that area and hopefully say yes or say, no, go back and tweak.
Okay.
So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Cody and to you for questions and answers.
I think Cody pretty well explained it last time. I mean, Joey wasn't here, but
I can brief you real quick. Renee did a phenomenal job, and she's been such a great support.
Well, I guess the only question I have, you're talking about a whole area. You're not talking about picking and choosing.
no,
You know,
that'd be
like,
one area.
It wouldn't be like this would happen in a existing
For example, if
residential
they
area.
did, for example, if they chose 80 acres they own on the other side of the
I see,
interstate,
I
you could
see.
feed that 80 acres. That's what they would do.
I
And we
see.
go through an entire, pretty much rezoning process.
Sounds like a good idea to me. Then,
I would entertain a motion.
I will make a motion to approve this ordinance as has been written.
I second.
Could we have a vote, please, Ms. Bonetta?
That was great, thank you. And fast. Okay, Chairman Powell,
Yes.
Commissioner Wood,
Yes.
Commissioner Chapel.
Yes.
Mr. Mosley, you have approval now of a recommendation. Now
Yes.
we take this to city council and get them to review it and say yes, and then it, after 30 days will become
Now-
a matter of fact.
Cody, you'd probably know this, but I assume that there's areas like this all over the United States. Not really.
We'll be the first.
Really?
What's Bricktown?
Bricktown is actually zoned entertainment.
Because there are the lofts, and then there are apartments, and there are.
And those would fall under kind of this multi-use type facility. No, Joe, we'll actually be the first one on Earth to do this.
That's pretty cool.
No one has looked to do this type of zoning freedom directed right at entrepreneurs. This is in a lot of ways a media ploy. We're trying to get Guthrie's name out there as an entrepreneurial destination, create those primary jobs.
And I guess this isn't tilted to one entrepreneurial, venue over another, just whatever.
No, we will welcome anyone and everyone.
So if somebody had 40 acres just outside of town someplace, and they wanted to do this, and they bought it, we could annex it if it's not already there, and
If it's contiguous
Yes.
to
Right,
to the city
right,
limits.
to the city limits.
And they wanted to, and they chose to do this.
Is how they would want to develop that property. If they chose to develop that property, they could petition the city for this particular ordinance or this particular zoning ordinance to be applied to that 40 acres at that
Right.
point. When I was reading this, what I liked about it is because it takes into account, you're still dealing with building ordinances, especially for both sectors, for commercial and residential. You still are going to have to build a house according to Guthrie, the codes that are already written.
And the
ordinance,
design
And
guidelines,
the design guidelines that we have already put in place.
yes.
And then also on the business side of it, the commercial side of it too. And I think it'll be really neat. I hope this really works out well for Guthrie. I think, as you said,
This kind of motion is, I said it was a media ploy, but it's also kind of, with that media attention that we're hoping to receive from that, we've had a couple different sources close to us say that they'll help push this message out. We're hoping that some of the bigger companies will see things that are really, really attractive to entrepreneurs, like broadband or any kind of
I say
high-speed.
high-tech or something,
high-tech,
something like that. would be
high-tech systems
perfect.
that they can slap their name and be a part of this as well. So it will really become a destination, if every single thing works out.
It's good.
well, I hope this first
It's
step helps.
exciting.
Thank you very much for your support. Thank you again, Mayor.
Item 5 is comments from staff. Mr. Neto?
I have no other comments, just to say that I think this will be a great way to attract like-minded people to help us with our development and growth. So,
Thank you. Comments from commissioners?
I think we've pretty well commented. I think this is going to be a pretty neat deal, so.
I would just like to say, Renee, it has been a pleasure working with you. You know that. And we're going to miss you very, very much.
thank you so much.
I didn't know really.
You,
You are. Everybody I like leaves.
we may still be calling on you from time
Oh,
to
yeah.
time, okay?
It's the best unkept secret, right?
Yeah, it is.
You will.
I'm not leaving. I will still be here. I'm not going anywhere else. I'm just taking it easy in life and spending time with hubby.
Right.
Yeah,
There you go. Well, it's
That's
been a
it.
pleasure.
thank you so much.
Okay.
You guys have made it fun.
And if it snows,
If it snows,
we'll have Christmas dinner.
we'll have Christmas dinner at my
Okay, sounds
house.
good.
There you go.
Oh, good, good.
I would entertain a motion for adjournment.
I will make that motion.
Mr. Chapel,
Second, I can do that.
we are adjourned. Thank you.